Perfect.
Oh, it's a me, a Wario.
Sure is.
Man, his teeth look weird.
That was like an animatronic puppet type thing that they were piloting in one CES like in the 90s. And
Yeah,
they
if I
had
remember correctly, like Charles Martinet talked through it or something.
yeah, Charles Martinet did the voice and it was just riffing and it was reacting to it. So enjoy that. That's our first background widget for the evening.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 142 of the Sonic Talk podcast. I am your host, Knuckles87, and with me today is Old Man Shigs.
I donated a pint of blood to my bathroom floor this morning.
Well, I'm sure I'd appreciate it. And also less Old Man GX.
I donated my time and effort to the code gods, and they have yielded a cleaner, more efficient Twitch overlay.
Neat. Is that why we have a moving thing back down there? Although I thought we had that before.
No, we had that before. No, this one was for a different Twitch program that we do on the very fine Sonic Stadium content platform community, whatever the frick we are.
Okay. All right. So I am a little out of it because I just got back from an hour-long drive from my parents. But we're gonna start with what we've been playing, and I have been playing a lot of Switch. I'm not going to talk about Cyberpunk, but that was a big part of my past couple of weeks. But on top of that, I have also been playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which largely replaced Cyberpunk for me, and WarioWorld on NSO, which Nintendo was kind enough to shadow drop just for me. So like I don't think I've talked about Metroid on here too much outside of like when I played a bunch of the 2D games and leading up to Metroid Prime Dread, but Metroid is generally one of my favorite video game franchises from Nintendo. Metroid Prime kind of supplanted Star Fox, which was just the one for a while because Star Fox 64 was just the best Nintendo game until I finally got into it. But I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It is not quite what I was expecting from a Metroid Prime, but is also in many ways exactly what I was expecting from a Metroid Prime. It's like I don't know, like the best way for me to describe it has kind of been like a prettier Metroid Prime 3. At least that was my experience for a good chunk of the game until like you get around to the okay, I don't know if this is the midpoint, but the Lava Factory, which is like the fourth area. But like by and large, like you go through an area, you solve puzzles, you explore. You'll if you find a marine, you will like you will like maybe escort them to somewhere, or you will just do something, and they will occasionally like talk to you over the speakers, and like for me, I'm gonna just outright confess, like I enjoy the atmosphere of these games. But I've never enjoyed the complete and utter solitude of the first two games. Like for me, it does just get a bit droll after a while. Um, and that's like one reason why I actually probably like Metroid Prime 3 a bit more than a lot of people. Because like, you do like you're not like just stuck alone on a planet, like you're like communicating with the Federation, especially in the beginning. Like, you're interacting with the wider galaxy. You kind of like see like more of what Metroid's living universe is. But like for this one, for this one, there is a lot more of just talking to the Marines. Um, and the Marines are all by and large fun personalities. Like Mackenzie, I'm sure y'all like saw the internet.
My understanding is that everyone loves Miles McKenzie. Like the internet
Mackenzie's the best one.
The internet can't stop talking about Miles McKenzie and their love and adoration
no, the internet couldn't stop talking about
all that Miles McKenzie fan fiction.
About how bad Miles McKenzie was from like the 20 minutes that
absolutely
like, the
love him. Like IGN wrote one vague article that kind of alluded to it, and the internet Metroid fans were proving exactly how normal online that they could be, as they are always extremely normal online and have always been.
It has been fun, like getting exposed to like my other kind of major fandoms this year, like Halo, Metroid.
Oh, do you remember the Federation Force discourse?
Oh God, do I remember it now? Like I never played the game,
Federation
like
Force
I'm not
is
going
fine.
to
Like
defend it, but my God,
it's a perfectly fine game. But people that Metroid fans are extremely. This is not the precise exact thing that I want, so I'm going to be very loud online.
But like by and large, for most of the game, you are still pretty lonely for a good chunk of it, and like then you will like have someone communicate with you over comms for a minute, and like it's just like it's a brief break from that, and like Miles McKenzie, you meet him after like 40 minutes of like just classic Metroid Prime gameplay, and it was a breath of fresh air seeing him again. Same thing with like the marine that you encounter in the snow area, and like then like there's Voltforge, which is probably like just the prettiest area in the game that I've encountered so far. It is amazing because it is just like these gigantic metal pillars covered in spikes, but it's like curved, and I don't know, it has this gorgeous architecture, and like there's just this like thunderous sky above it. It's just great and very unique for Metroid because it's just this factory caught in a perpetual lightning storm. But like whenever you go there, you just don't hear peep from anyone. And so like the only real exception for me so far has been when you go to the lava factory, because you are with a pair of Marines for basically the entire thing, and it is a much more linear experience than the other locations. It kind of just feels like sort of an extended action set piece with just some mild puzzle solving, which Metroid Prime 4's gunplay is really good, at least when you're using the pointer like I do. Like this is probably the first Switch 2 game that I've been playing almost exclusively on the TV. Because like for one, it's just a gorgeous game, even though it's just a pretty up Switch 1 game. But also, like that is when you get to use the pointer controls. The pointer controls are really good. Again, plays into what I say about it being a very pretty Metroid Prime 3. So like I just beat the lava section. I'm going back into Vault Forge now, and so like in addition to maybe it being a bit more linear and actiony than past Metroids, it also does maybe get a bit handholdy. Like Vault Forge is a location you have to go back to multiple times. And whenever you have to go back there, and you don't go back there within like 15 minutes, Miles McKenzie will send you a reminder over the intercom. Yeah, you should go to Vault Forge to test out your new abilities, and you might be able to find something else. And like I kind of wish that was just something I could turn off. Or like, I don't need the game to tell me exactly where to go.
That's one of the biggest complaints I've heard about this game.
So like that is kind of really my only serious issue with it. The desert's fine. Um, uh, like as I understand it, like there's like a big fetch quest that you get in the end game where you have to gather a bunch of a resource, but that's only a pain in the butt if you don't listen to what the game tells you at the beginning and start collecting the resource early. And sometimes, like what I have been doing in the desert is I like the vibe in the desert. Like I don't even need the music that you apparently either need to unlock or get from a $30 amiibo. Like it just has this kind
$40
of
amiibo,
nice
but
empty vibe that's like just perfect for Metroid. And I just like driving through there and like just collecting the green energy rocks that you're supposed to collect. You're just smashing through them. Just taking the scenic route whenever I need to go from one location to the other. Um, I don't think it's my favorite Metroid Prime, but it's still a very good Metroid Prime. And it remains to be seen like what the rest of the game is like. But at least from where I'm at right now, I'm pretty satisfied. Like my only real issue with it is that I was kind of hoping for like Metroid Prime to like for Metroid to get its big swing with this game, like a big new innovative game, like because hey, why not? Like they've been working on this thing for so long, even when you take into account the fact that they completely rebooted development in what early 2019. Like that's still a long time to be working on a game, and so to just kind of have this prettier Metroid Prime is a little disappointing. But hey, you know what? They can save the big swing for their next one, I guess, which I'm hoping they do a next one. But like, man, it is just weird thinking that like I no longer have Metroid Prime to look forward to anymore. Like every year for the last several years, I keep thinking, is this the year for Metroid Prime? Is this the year? And it's like, okay, this was the year. It's done. Now what? But yeah, so like I'll have more to say next time. I will give a spoiler warning, but I do plan on talking about everything. But like, hey, if you like Metroid Prime, pick it up. um I don't think it does too much to really like break what those games did well, in my opinion. So moving on to Wario World. So like Wario World is a kind of an interesting game for me because like I've never owned it. I rented it once. I played through like the first two levels or something. Um
I'm astonished
and
you
then
didn't beat it on the rental.
I rarely beat games on the rental, even the
It
short ones.
it is a very short game.
Yeah, I know. It's like 5 worlds, 10 levels, what, 5 or 6 bosses. Well, okay, no. Each world has a boss, but like, 5 end world bosses. Um, but eventually I did buy it like I think like about 10 years ago, and I played it again. And I got through the first world that time, and then I guess kind of then I got distracted by something else and I guess forgot about it. And
It's not a game that lends itself to putting meaningful thought or time into it.
to be clear, I do this with games all the time when they're
To
retro.
be
I will play
clear,
them for a bit, then I will drop them.
that is also a way to really describe this game.
but but like I've been hoping to just get on NSO because it's like, look,
I don't know if
I
I've ever
don't
played this
like
one.
I love NSO. I love the packaging. I love how convenient it is. I could technically play it on my Steam Deck, but I have other things I can play on my Steam Deck. So it's like I don't know, like it just didn't mesh for my brain. And so to have this get shadow dropped was great for me because I'm already using my Switch too, and so now I'm just gonna use it a little more. And like whenever I'm not playing Metroid Prime 4, I've been playing this, and I got to the third level and like it is a very treasure game. First of all, like it is I don't know, it is weird, it is goofy, it
I
is like it is like very brawler centric.
I feel
And it
like
is
I've
just full of bosses.
I feel like it is not quite as treasure as other fascinating treasure. Like when I think of treasure, I think their output on the Genesis. I think The what's it called? Sin and Punishment. I think of things that are a little bit more high energy, things that have a little bit more variety, things that feel a little bit more fleshed out than WarioWorld is.
Yeah,
WarioWorld,
this
yeah.
certainly isn't like as fleshed out, I guess,
Like
as some
WarioWorld,
other titles, but like it is just full of action and full of bosses. And whenever I think of Treasure, I think of those things, like because they will just fill their games with boss battles, and this one like it has like every level ends in a boss. Every world ends an additional boss, and then like some levels will also just like have effectively just mini bosses just sitting there in the middle. But
they will, but the
I
bosses aren't nearly crazy enough for what you would expect from a Treasure Legacy thing.
I don't know, I guess. But midway through, I've been having fun with with the basic combat and the platforming. It's certainly like an interesting idea for what a Wario 3D Wario game can be. But certainly like compared to say like Luigi's Mansion or like I'm not I guess Super Mario Sunshine, even though I'm not really the biggest fan of that. Like it is like on the simpler side in terms of its formula and everything. So it's like, you know, you've got like your basic sort of platforming gameplay that's very brawler centric, and then you have all these like kind of mini challenge rooms with all these like very like basic but still generally like challenging platforming segments where you have to like figure out various minor platforming puzzles. And that's kind of like where you get your variety and your break from the combat. But it's also like not really as deep as say the Super Mario Sunshine 3D platforming
Yeah,
areas.
I
But like
actually went back to the game recently, about a month back, even before this was announced for NSO, and like my takeaway from it was it's too complicated to just be kind of a simple button mashy beat 'em up, but it's also not complicated enough to really be mechanically satisfying. It's fine, but it's like a kind of almost satisfactory C game. It doesn't do anything particularly interesting. It just kind of has some ideas and almost kind of executes on them on a way that's competent, but not like noteworthy.
I do appreciate the goofy enemies. I appreciate the variety and of environments and environmental types. Um, But honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like a lot, there is at least a little bit of my guess my ADHD brain being on full display here because I just kind of like the idea of all three of the Mario characters getting like their own like 3D games on the GameCube, and like Wario World kind of like completes the set for me. But beyond that, like it's still just a fun little game that is, you know, at the very least, like as far as NSO titles go, it's a fun enough distraction. It's short enough that I'm definitely gonna like get to the end of this at probably like within the next week or so. Um, although I will just say that in terms of level design, it has felt like it's starting to fall apart a little bit by the third world. Like the third world feels like a bit of a mess
Did you,
in terms of level
did
design.
you make it to the weird like garden maze? Because that's where I reached and was like, I don't think I really want to put more time into this.
I don't think so. That sounds like it's probably the one after mine because I know that's like there's a winter themed one, a spring themed one, then like a lava boss thing. Um, but the weird thing about the game is that like when it's not in those but like platform challenge areas, it's like kind of almost like sort of a borderline 2.5D game because it has just like a perpetual side perspective. Albeit you're still like navigating a 3D world, and in the ice level, which I'm at right now, like you like have to like navigate up, like hit these ice ramps and like jump off them in order to like get to certain areas further on the level, and like there's just no way of seeing like where any of those are going to take you. Yeah, no, it's just kind of messy. But like, I don't know, like, this is something I would love to see like expanded on and improved upon in like a modern game. Because like the basic idea of hey, a Wario game full of weird enemies that were like it's like a platform and a brawler, like that feels like a good idea for Wario, just needs better execution.
Well, it's
And like
almost like there have been at least 5 other Wario games that have been a weird brawler platformer that have executed on it better, that just aren't in
Yeah,
2.5D.
pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah,
so do that in
I'm currently
3D, I
playing
guess.
this for the first time ever, and yeah, it plays like a high-resolution Saturn 3D platformer, and that's not exactly the biggest compliment.
Really
I
don't
mean,
think I'd go
it's
that far.
so-so.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just a little like it's a little bit jank. It's jank enough
Yeah,
that
it's
it's noticeably, but it's not like unplayably jank. It's just sort of it's a it's a platformer with a toothache. It's not gonna stop you,
honestly,
but it's gonna like
it's
you're gonna
jank in a
feel it.
way that I'm kind of used to brawlers from that era being, at least like the B tier brawlers. Like Yakuza and the original Yakuza's combat was also a big jank. So like I don't know, a little bit like that, I guess. But finally, like visually, it does kind of pull off some neat tricks, especially in terms of the lighting. So that's kind
B-tier
of cool
brawlers
seeing
are
it
one of my
seeing in
favorite pop
HD.
bands.
Anyway, that's all I had. That's what I've been playing aside from CrossWorlds Switch 2, which I'll be talking about in the news section. So, Chigs, what have you been up to?
I have been playing Kirby Air Riders. Ended up picking
Huh,
this up thanks in part to pretty much every podcast out
another
there
GameCube
telling
game
me
always
how
felt was a bit
wild
jank.
and different it is, and how visceral the gameplay can be at times. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta at least try it out. So I finally picked it up, and I gotta agree with them. This game, I wouldn't even call it a kart racer of its
Oops.
own. It is completely its own thing.
Have you played
It
the
just
original?
not it. I don't think I ever did. No,
Really?
I
Okay.
played the original. I didn't care for it.
no, I just never got around to that.
It's a
No, I'm saying
it's a
I
very
didn't care for it.
Sakurai racing game, the original, and everything I've heard about this one is that this continues the legacy of it being a very Sakurai racing game.
Oh yeah, it's very Sakurai. I mean, even in the menus and everything, you're
Tell me
expecting
about
to
all
go
of your
into
gummies.
I haven't gotten all the gummies yet. No, I've been trying pretty much every mode for a little bit. My favorite being Road Trip, where you basically take your Kirby or whatever racer you have, and you go out on a little road trip. You try different events, whether it's a race, whether it's a mini game, a top loading game, and everything. And you're basically trying out the entire game through this story mode while going down one road and meeting up with others. And it really gives you a good idea of what the game is about. And plus, you can do other stuff with that, like add add little costumes to your characters, add cowboy hats or little caps, and it's also a good way to unlock the other racers. I think the one that's got the least going on is actually the main racing mode, which is doesn't even have a little Grand Prix to it. It's just the dozen or so tracks are playable there, but it doesn't add anything too much. I think these games are not as much content heavy as they are unlockable heavy.
Oh,
Mm.
And it
yes.
always
Yeah.
has something pushing you to keep going forward and keep trying out all these modes. I actually really this is probably the best game for playing top down racing on, because it doesn't just force you to turn left or right, which when you're turning upside down into to going into an area you're not normally doing left or right. You don't know how to do that. Here you can change the option to steer in any direction while you're racing, and that really helps with that. And of course, I have been playing a bit of City Trial. I haven't really played that much online to really judge it on that, but I have had a blast with that, just boosting up my racer, getting them all ready, and then going into a mini game and doing my best to win that. And it's the best way to unlock different power-up abilities, different racers. It's so my favorite being right now is being Rick, the hamster.
Everyone loves Rick.
Racing as a hamster.
Apparently, the meta is that Rick is just a complete OP.
I don't know if that's the case. Just everybody loves a cute hamster, so why wouldn't you? But yeah, so that's the racing. There's top down. There's the road trip, and then there's the city brawl. And the most popular online is city brawl instead of the racing. And I kind of agree with the racing's really good, but I think city brawl and road trip are what steal the show. And if you're looking for something where you're looking to have that kind of carrot on the stick kind of feeling where you're constantly unlocking stuff and getting up brand new stuff, you'll really enjoy it. If you want something with a ton of content, right now I don't think that's the game for you right now, but I imagine this is probably going to be updated over time over the next year.
Nope, it's not getting any
DLC. He explicitly said it's not getting any content updates. This is the game. This is the game.
Like, it's going to get like one more patch, and then they're disbanding the team.
It's a balancing patch too, so no, this is...
Like,
the one things I'll say I kind of disagree with is the way they do the this is only a 1 to 2 button game. Like holding down the B button to go onto a tight turn. That feels good. I like that. But then it's the same button you have to hold on a straightaway to suck up an enemy to get a power up, and then if you want to just attack an enemy like a punch or a kick, you have to just shake the joystick instead of that being on a separate button, which I really wish that was on a separate button. The only other button is for your main attack that you eventually build up. And that's it. Everything else is still on one button.
Like, go on.
Oh, go ahead. This is
like I played this. I played this during the I forget what they call it, the test runs or whatever, across both weekends, and it's like I kind of started to get into it near the end, but like overall, like it just like it felt like a combat racer where the combat just wasn't very engaging, and the racing was very fast, which is always good, but just I don't know, like I felt like the racing felt too autopilot-y, which was a weird thing to feel for a racer.
Well, it's not really autopilot-y. It's that it doesn't have its own acceleration button. You are auto-accelerating the entire.
Like it's not just that. Just like there's like just chunks of these stages that are automatic, and then like other chunks where it just feels like your input doesn't matter that much. And like I don't know, like I just. Like I wasn't a huge fan of the GameCube originals. That's definitely going to be part of it. But like I guess could not get into the combat or the racing. And like but like as a party game, I was starting to feel it towards the end. But like this is a game I would that like where my price tag for it maxes out at $50 between the quality of the gameplay and the amount of content, and like this just did not feel like a $70 game for me.
You probably should pay the $70 plus the $200 additional dollars that you need for the entire Amiibo collection. That seems like the smartest investment.
There's 2 more of those Amiibos coming out?
There's like 4 total, isn't there?
Oh my god!
Yeah, right they announced a few more.
And yeah, they had those for $50 at Best Buy when I was out overpaying my Best Buy bill, and I was looking at that. I'm like, oh, if I have a credit card, I could just pay that over time. And then, the logical part of my brain went, hell no, not at $50.
That's the American spirit.
No Amiibo is worth $50, no matter if you could swap them around, if they have magnets, if they do other little things. None of them are worth $50 in any universe. I mean, and look what happened with the Street Fighter 6 Amiibo. They were $40 for the longest time. Now during Christmas, they're selling them for $6 to $9 in the stores.
But this is the game where I will probably be very tempted to pick it up and check it out once it goes on sale or something like a year from now. Which Nintendo is thankfully getting a little better with their sales, so crossing my fingers for $50.
Not this year, like
I'd wait for
maybe
you.
next year.
I
Maybe
said a year from now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I said a year from now, so yeah.
Maybe.
I am happy to see Metroid Prime 2 is still selling better on the Switch 2 Digital Sharks. But anyway, GX, anything else you want to say about Air Riders?
Do things that I want to say about it.
Yeah, what's GX have to say about it?
Let me talk about this game that I have not played, but played the previous version of.
Basically, I'm having a fun time with it, but it's one of these games that the one thing I like about it is I don't feel like I have to dedicate my time to it all like any.
The one thing I will give about City Trial,
I can drop off for a little bit and pick it back up later. Kind of like any kart racer game, really.
City Trial, it's nice, it's short, it's like 5 minutes. So there's that. Of course, for me, my big disappointment with City Trial is that it's a decently fun combat game. But then you get to the actual thing that happens after, and it's always just some mini game that's kind of boring. I'm curious how you feel about City Trial.
I like it. Again, it's similar to what you say. You just are powering up to do basically a mini game, and that's the meat of the game is just the powering up itself, where the mini game feels like a secondary thing.
Yeah. Now, have you played the campaign yet?
I think Road Trip is the campaign, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've been playing through that, and I enjoy that because you're getting basically a variety. You're
what does that
different
involve?
modes, top modes. The only thing you're not playing is the city. Well, you're kind of playing the city mode because there's some bosses in the city trial area. So you play a little bit of the city and try it out. And one of the things I find is I need a vehicle that has a good steering to it as far as, drifting goes. Because if you can't do tight turns, you're going to smash into everything in City Trial because everything's kind of close together, and that can be frustrating at times.
It's a game that definitely embraces a sense of chaos above all anything else.
I mean, it's definitely a Sakurai game. It has it feels like it's a Smash Brothers game as far as the menus and everything. Very much emulate that Smash Brothers look and feel to it.
Now, would you say that the campaign is especially involved, or I don't know? Would you say that that's the reason to pick it up?
I don't see it's evolving. I'd say it's just it's the best mode of the three because you're getting to try everything.
Okay. So it's like mini games and bosses and racetracks.
Yeah, mini games, races, they're definitely where the bosses are mainly at.
Okay.
And but it's not like a story based or anything.
Okay, so it's it has an opening cutscene, ending or something.
Yeah, that's it. Just like an opening cutscene.
All right.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, that probably isn't enough for me to reconsider. Okay. So, GX, you have some games this time around.
Not really.
Or at least one. I thought that was two. Tell me about it.
I'm not going to spend that much time on this. It's probably not worth spending too much time. I am... We'll say between games, I put a heck of a lot of time into Minecraft, and I'm kind of on the bounce back of that. I'm good. I got what I needed to out of it. So I spent some time just looking through my Steam library, thinking I don't want to have the big commitment yet, but I wanted something that I know I can just kind of jump into, and I landed on PictoQuest. PictoQuest is a nonogram game, which you might know through the Nintendo trademarked version of that word, Picross. It's basically just a Picross game. It is a nonogram RPG. And I don't think it quite works.
Aw.
So I think I'm having fun with it. I am enjoying with it. I am enjoying it. But the problem is I'm enjoying it off the back of nonogram puzzles just being fun. I don't think the RPG elements really add to it in any meaningful way. So I'm not going to get into how to play a nonogram puzzle. It's a logic puzzle where you execute on a sort of brain-teasing formula in the same way that if you've ever done a Sudoku, it's very similar to that. But the thing that I rather like about it is at the end of it, you, instead of just having a jumble of numbers that logically work together, you actually have like a little grid picture. And it's kind of neat that way. It's, heck, Nintendo and oh geez, I'm trying to remember the company that keeps making Picross entry after Picross entry over the months. What company that is? I want to say Q, but I don't know if it's actually Q. But like that part's great. It's perfectly fine. It's a perfectly serviceable version of that. It certainly works better with a mouse than with a controller, but and it has a little bit of personality. It doesn't have a lot of personality, but you know, there are NPCs you will encounter. They'll have a little bit of dialogue. It's pretty dry, but it's not so dry that you can't have fun with it. It's otherwise a pretty straightforward game of going along nodes in a map in a largely linear order, completing the puzzle that's associated with it. There are about 10 puzzles and 2 challenges in each segment of the map, where the last one is a boss fight. And I guess from there I'll get into the RPG elements and how that works out. Some stages are simply solve the puzzle. And they sort of represent it through trying to unlock a treasure chest. There aren't really a lot of consequences for like doing well or doing poorly in those ones. However, there are stages that are battles, and someone is moving quite a lot, and audibly so.
I think that's Shigs.
It is Shigs. I wasn't going to specify, but it is him.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm typing.
Yeah. But the way the RPGs work are, as you are working on the puzzle, you have several enemies that are on screen that have bars filling up. If their bar ever fills up, they perform an attack on you, and you will lose a portion of a heart if they do so successfully. They might get critical hits in which case they do double damage. They might miss you entirely. It's, you know, there's some random stats there. So the way that you kind of mitigate that is by filling up enough, or by filling in enough squares, or by fully filling in a row. Logically, by solving the row, not just filling in every square of it, you will perform an attack against the enemy. And basically, enemy HP is in alignment with the entire solving of the puzzle. So if you solve the entire puzzle, you will defeat the enemies, all of them. But when you unleash an attack, that resets or partially resets their attack timer. So the idea is you could prevent yourself from taking damage by continuing to work on the puzzle. The problem is you would be doing that anyway, So near as I can tell, there's not really a meaningful strategic way that you could fight enemies. You could kind of sort of pay attention to their bar and shift around which one you're targeting based on which one is most likely going to attack you soon. But what you're going to run into is your biggest attacks are going to be whenever you solve a full row. And that doesn't quite work with the way that you solve a nonogram puzzle. Like, a nonogram puzzle is going to be very backloaded in actually completing rows. The first couple of things that you are going to get down are the things that you can logically work through, knowing, like, hey, you have a blank canvas. These are things that must be true. You might be very lucky and get a full row if the design of that puzzle allows it, but by and large, you're not going to really be filling out full rows until the latter half of the puzzle. So first half of it, you're probably just going to be absorbing a lot of damage. And a lot of Picross games have timers, and this doesn't really feel like an RPG so much as a timer with some randomized elements attached. And it just feels like it's too much for what it wants to do. It doesn't really feel like an RPG. It just feels like a couple extra mechanics attached to things that other nonogram games, like the Picross games, already do. And again, I don't want to say that in such a too disappointed of a way. I just kind of want to say that as context of, if you are getting this and playing this, it is because you really enjoy nonogram puzzles, not because you specifically want to have the experience of what merging that with an RPG would be like. And it's kind of funny because I have seen an interesting take on it in some of the earliest Picross games from Nintendo. Not necessarily like the Mario's Picross ones, but the ones that were hitting DS originally. They had this sort of rapid fire puzzle mode where they just gave you a series of quick hit 5x5s that you need to solve as quickly as you can. To me, that makes a bit more sense as a RPG, as the basis of an RPG mechanic, more so than here's a standard puzzle, solve it, and there might be some stuff going on around you. So you can kind of, it has some items that might be the most RPG aspect of it. You can use potions to kind of heal your health if you get too low. You can get additional hearts, which are very expensive and require you to solve a lot of puzzles, but at the same time, I'm about a little over 50% through the entire game, and I've already got all the hearts that it can allow me to get because that's what I focused on. And then there's like some magic, there's like 3 magic spells. One of them blocks attack damage once from an enemy. One of them lets you automatically fill a small piece of the grid. And then like one of them is like, hey, you will get a very quick look at clues on where things might be, and it'll throw those at you automatically. It has a really weird system of getting items during combat, where as you're solving through the puzzle, one of the rows or columns is just going to have an item icon on it that just pops up randomly throughout the puzzle, and if you happen to finish that row or column within like a couple seconds while it's still there, it'll give you a free item, which might be cool, but also you're not going to have a good sense of being able to fill that row or column in the time that it is on there. If it's on there and you only have like 3 blocks filled in and you have 2 other numbers to take care of, there could be like 5 other rows that you would need to complete before you could even tackle that. So it just doesn't feel like the RPG aspects coalesce in any meaningful way. Again, it's still a nonogram puzzle, and it's very affordable, and it has some light but fun personality, but it just feels very weird and awkward the ways that they tried to make it an RPG. And that's the part where I think it is a little bit unfortunate, but there's a decent chance I'm still gonna continue with this. I've at least made it up to the part of the game where I'm fairly regularly doing 15 by 20 puzzles. I suspect by the end of it, I'll probably be tackling some 20 by 20s, and but yeah, like it's a good brain bender to kind of chew on before I go to bed, or just as soon as I wake up and don't want to get out of bed yet, and I can just hammer out a couple puzzles, and that's good enough for me. Like the only other thing I've been playing is like, hey, I played a smattering of various retro games just to feel just to fuel the retro game hunger that occasionally, but nobody needs to hear me about. Like, I played 2 levels of Buster Busts Loose from the SNES Tiny Toon Adventures game. You don't need to hear me talking about that.
I loved that game back then.
I played it with 99 lives cheat, and that feels like the right way to play it, because that's a game that really wants you to memorize a lot of the stage stuff.
I think I saw the end of that game once.
Yeah. That seems like the correct number of times to see the end of that game.
Like, it may have been twice between me and my sister, but yeah, it is not a game that I generally got any further than like the midway point. But I had a lot of fun.
Mine was Genesis Animaniacs. That was my version of that. I could.
Yeah, I think I've only played that one on a rental. The Tiny Toons one.
But yeah, that's all I got going.
Okay, so let's move on to the main part of the episode, which is Sonic discussion.
Hearing Shigs talk about games he's played again.
No, you'll be hearing me talk about playing a game again, because first up, oh wait, what? Why is what? Okay, I don't know why you have that structured like that, but
because Shigs has also played it. Damn it.
Okay.
That's
well, so have I.
He's the one that said he played it. You didn't say anything about playing it.
I told you I bought it.
You told me you bought it. You didn't tell me you played it.
Of course I would play it after I bought it. God. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So Sonic Racing CrossWorlds launched on the Switch 2. After it was on sale on the original Switch, and the upgrade pass was also on sale. So so I forget how much I spent, but it was like, I think $45 or something.
Not even close for me, because I had originally bought mine for my nephew, and it was there in this box list, like haunting me when I found out that the Switch upgrade was $5, and I'm like, it's like, come on, play with me. I'm like, no, you're for my nephew. I can't do it. And then after the Game Awards, there was another $35 copy on Amazon. I'm like, okay, great, I'll buy that one, and then I'll play with this one and purchase the upgrade thing.
In any case,
that's pretty much what I did.
I spent a significant amount of time just playing the original Switch version. I have been trying to like capture video footage of it for the YouTube, but unfortunately I was not at home, and so I did not have access to my PC, and my dad's PC was not up to snuff. But regardless, I did spend a lot of time with it, and my God, like, going from that to Switch 2 is just something. Because it's like, The Switch 2 version, it is blurry. It is technically 30 frames per second, but
You mean
there
the
are
Switch
just frame
version?
rate hitches.
You mean the Switch version? You said the
Yeah,
Switch
Switch 1 version. It is blurry, it's got frame rate hitches, and when it's got a good frame rate, it's 30 frames, which apparently I can tell the difference now. And so when I finally upgrade from Switch 2, that was just like a generational leap, because it's like, oh my god, I'm finally like playing the game, and it's like 1440p, it's 60 frames, it's silky smooth. This is a really good port.
It is on par. I tried playing I tried playing the Series X one again, and then going back to this one, and they are on par. I cannot tell the difference between either one of them. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, I'd like to see like a Digital Foundry version between the Series X, PS5 and this one, but
think they said they're doing something.
This is completely next gen. This is perfect as far as I can't tell the difference between the two. They are flawless in between.
Yeah.
The only difference I noticed when I was playing it portably, and I went into the menus to customize machine, and I started picking out labels, and suddenly the labels were very low res, which is not something that happens when I have it on the docked in the station, and that might
they are indeed so low res.
Yeah.
Go on.
But other than that, it's a perfect transition.
Yeah, honestly, I think it is better than the Steam Deck version. Of course, like with Steam Deck, you can get access to mods and stuff and play it on a better PC. But there's one of the great things about Switch 2 is when you get a game on that versus Steam Deck, it is optimized, and so it is just going to be a better looking game. If you're looking for a portable version of this is a good port. Now, unfortunately, this did not launch without issues. No one, I think, has received their Werehog yet, which is extra frustrating for me because my review copy didn't come with Werehog either. And I was like, okay, this will be a nice bonus to getting this.
I have my Werehog because the Switch Switch game that I purchased off of Amazon had a code in there for the Werehog.
Yeah, I got the digital versions. So
okay.
No code for me. I'm just waiting for SEGA to send me the goddamn thing.
I do not have the I think what you might have over me is I don't have the deluxe pass at all.
I did get the deluxe pass.
That would cost me an extra $30, turning this game into a $65 game versus a $35.
One advantage of the digital was that they only had the deluxe pass on sale, but the deluxe pass was on sale for a lot for for a pretty good price. So that worked out fine for me. Now the game around the same time as the launch of the Switch 2, the game also got its big 1.2 update, which added new music, decals, and you can finally see the DLC the next batch of DLC characters in game, which I did put up some footage of that on the YouTube if you wanted to see that. The decal editions are interesting because it's more tie-in stuff.
More
Japanese
Japanese ads.
I mean, yeah, basically, and man,
what is happening?
Man,
why? They really it feels like they absolutely bet on the wrong territory to really put focus on. Why did they do why? I just want to know why.
Well, look at it this way: the expensive licenses are mostly Western, like Minecraft, SpongeBob, all the next stuff. That's all American.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like it really does. Like I was saying before, they were really pushing this in Japan, and it just did not work out for them.
Okay,
And yet we're
I
still like getting this.
I need to know. I need to know this for a sec.
Yeah,
Does the Switch 2 version or the Switch version still have the decals for Asus and ROG?
yeah, of course. Do you think
I'd
that was just for PS3?
I was well, I have it on PC, so like sure. But that kind of surprises me that Nintendo would be cool with that.
Yeah, we
That's
got
still
Asus,
Asus,
we got Republic of Gamers,
Beyblade
we got
X,
Samsung, Lenovo,
Lenovo,
Puma,
Razer.
which I realize that's shoes, but it's funny to me. But
I don't see ROG. I don't think did they have ROG before?
Yeah, they had ROG before. ROG was one of the ones they launched with.
uh, but like yeah, regardless, like we got the crazy what was it the crazy raccoon guys, which also gave us
No,
some
no,
music.
there they are. Republic of Gamers. It's still in here.
Yeah.
You could say they are a ROG ally. Uh-huh.
You could, but you shouldn't.
No.
Sure he should. We got some music from Corone, and we've got some music from Crazy Raccoon, and we also got decals from Ray J Kun and Crazy Raccoon. Like honestly, the only one in here that really makes sense to me is Corone because like apparently like they've always been big on Sonic, like they've been teaming up with her since like
Well,
Frontiers,
also
but
that song I believe was composed by Otani,
yeah,
if
it
I remember
was.
correct.
It was Otani and what's her face, the streamer. Um, but like what's really weird is that like the Regé Kun decals are really weird. Like it's this like low quality art. I
I
looked at
think
this.
that's the aesthetic of the thing.
I think it is, but when I looked them up, like I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know. Um, but I don't know. Like this game just continues to be such a weird mashup of cross promotions and crossovers. um, and finally, in the update tonight, they did at the very least fix the Sonic Adventure decal glitch.
Yeah, I
So
was
like,
wondering what's going on there because I they noticed, hey, we got a Sonic Adventure decal for you when I first loaded it up, and then I was looking for it. I'm like, well, where is it? It was nowhere to be found.
like apparently like some people got it and then like disappeared. But yeah, so like you'll get a message saying here's a reward, here's a compensation for error. And
Yeah, that's what happened when I just booted it up just now. I had to wait for a
yeah.
download. And it seemed like an extremely long download, so I'm wondering if there's something else. I'm imagining Knights is in here ready for
Oh
unlock
yeah,
then.
that like
Yeah.
like as someone who is very motivated to find new Sonic music. You can bet that the Knights music is in there. You can bet the track music for the Pac-Man track is in there. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. They got the music for Tangle and Whisper. They've got the music for Monkey Ball. Like all of the assets for the upcoming DLC is there, and just like when the launch version had all of the DLC for the first couple of packs, it's just a matter of waiting for the timetable to say it is time. It's time. It's time to have this DLC.
Yep, and do not if you want if you're on PC, don't hack it into the game because that can get you banned.
Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. You will be tempted to do that. Do not do that.
Do not. um okay, so moving on to film news. Oh wait, sorry. Mobile corner. My mistake. Um so all right, so Sonic Rumble got looks like a big
You're not going to
season
talk
2.
about the gadgets?
Oh, right. there are, yeah, okay. One final thing, like we did also get a bunch of new gadgets added, which I have messed with them a bit, and they are pretty cool. Um, Now I'm curious if either of you have like had the time to mess around with them, or if it's just me.
I haven't turned on the
I
game in
imagine it's
quite a
just
while.
you because I've been playing the Switch 2 version and not the Xbox version, so I don't have all the unlockables yet.
All right. Well, you get you get damage mercy, ring mercy, and item mercy. Damage mercy is makes you temporarily invincible after taking damage. So like it'll keep you from like getting like hit multiple times, which should be cool. Ring mercy gives you rings after taking damage, and item mercy gives you an item after taking damage. You also get strong finish, which makes you temporarily invincible on when you start the third lap, which like which whenever which that is definitely going to be useful if you're like up front at that point. And finally, you have double down and lucky par. Lucky par gives you a 50% chance of getting a 2 item box from a 1 item box, and double down just gets you two item boxes every single time, and that one of course takes up like an entire 3 slots on the bottom. Like that one's going to be really useful, I imagine, for like whenever you're doing something like battle themed or whatever. Like I'm sure it's going to be popping up in future festivals as like part of the gadget kit or whatever. Um, so they did talk about like their goals with this. Since they launched, they observed 2 common strategies emerging using drift type gadgets to maintain top positions, which that was at least my attempted strategy. And staying in 9th and 12th place, and then using item control gadgets to get powerful items late in the race quickly to jump to top positions, which I recently learned is an extremely common strategy in Mario Kart World, to the point where people will like just camp over item boxes until they like get the right one. And so they said both strategies made it very difficult for those in 4th to 8th place to make a comeback, which, yeah, has been like one of my issues with this game, where it feels like if you're in the middle of the pack, you get punished a lot. And so they said, therefore, in version 1.2, we've added and strengthened support and item type gadgets to make it easier to make comebacks from 4th to 8th. Now, I have not had a chance to take it online. I've mostly just played it I've mostly just been playing like the Grand Prix and stuff as I've been like making my way through the Switch 2 version. Um, but this does these this the at the very least, this feels like it's addressing an existing issue that this game has had in terms of its balancing. And so in addition to that, they made a couple other adjustments, like they reduced downtime after taking a hit from quick recovery, which is very good because like the the that is that like as like one of my big issues with this game is that what you really kind of get stopped a lot in this by items and stuff, and so quick that already makes quick recovery useful, but if it can like genuinely just eliminate that even more, that's going to be a big improvement. Acceleration machine kit also improves recovery and reduce and so yeah, so like they have a lot of improvements and changes for that stuff. Um, so I will probably be personally experiencing how all this stuff works when Nikes hits the game, because that's usually when I start playing multiplayer again, when a new character comes. Um, so like, you guys have anything to say on the gadgets?
I like.
Well, I haven't tried them yet.
I know, but from what I've said,
Yeah, I mean
It sounds like some really good balancing, but it sounds like they use the gadgets to balance instead of
well, yeah, that is.
increasing certain characters and nerfing others
Well,
instead.
gadgets are like the core part of the game in terms of that stuff.
yeah.
Like everyone uses gadgets, and you use that to adjust your play style.
I I I like that they are they are willing to add new things to the game mechanically. It's obviously not as dramatic as like, hey, we put in a bunch of new tracks, or hey, we have new items added, but to kind of shift the levers that they do reasonably have without dramatically adding new content feels like a good way to, you know, just give people a greater sense of being able to fine tune the experience. And I certainly appreciate that. And it sounds like, hey, being able to just get 2 items every time sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like it could make for big, crazy, swingy matches that you know, it's
I've got to imagine it's going to be really cool, like pairing that with something with that thing that gives you a third item slot.
either the third item slot or just like the ones that are like, you are much more likely to get this kind of item.
Um, so anything else you want to add?
It's a game that I continue to think about quite often, even if I don't always play. I I want to put more time into it. I just need to make myself do that.
Yeah, like I want to get around to playing Claire Obscura Expedition 33, but I at least need to get through Metroid Prime 4 first. Um, so moving on to the mobile corner. Sonic Rumble got a big update last night. That added added a bunch of stuff like behind the scenes of the game, and like it also added the season 2 pass, and most importantly, Surge and Zazz have come to the game, alongside some like steampunk themed characters that are like basically the subject of the season pass.
Some fang-faced fiends.
But yeah, so we've got our third IDW character, and she hit a lot faster than I was expecting. Like I figured maybe Surge would be coming sometime next year, but no, she came like I guess a couple of weeks after Tangle and Whisper arrived. Um, and
Yeah,
like
unfortunately, that whole Millennium event is kind of over, so I'm done collecting any extra red rings. I only got 23 left. That's she's going to cost me probably $20 if I ever wanted to pick her up.
Well, at the very least, they have they have said that the new update will bring a new way for players to earn rewards, and so I've got to imagine that that's going to involve like using missions to earn Red Star rings again. They haven't implemented it yet, whatever it was. Um, well, kind of one of the more frustrating things about this game is that like it will update and then I'll add all this stuff, but like and they'll just like roll it out slowly over the course of like the season. So the community manager Lucas Meisner, he said, "Glad we were able to add another fan favorite character to the roster. It takes quite some time to add new characters with the stars aligned for Surge." Now, I will say that both of these characters, like, I love these character models. Like, Surge and Zazz both transitioned very well to Sonic Rumble's toyish uh, art style.
Yeah, I
um,
do dig the art style in this game.
so, in addition to them, we also had the usual data miners, and we're probably not going to report this on Sonic Stadium proper because, like, we're like in the creators program. But this is all over Twitter, so we're at least going to talk about it here. And more Sonic Rumble skins were added in this update, including basically all of them from the New York City world. Specifically, whatever Knuckles' name is. Uh, we got Rusty Rose, Doctor Deep, and also Big from the dystopian
Dr. Deep,
universe.
you say?
Yes, Doctor
Uh,
Deep.
That tempts me.
And again, like these are only headshots, but I do think that they, for the most part, look pretty good. Although maybe not
Funny, they're
big.
still pushing that series that had its series finale 2 years ago.
Yeah, like I've got to imagine it's because Sega considers it quote unquote canon and everything.
I certainly find it amusing that they continue to do that one, but did not feel like they wanted to, or more significantly, in CrossWorlds, that they continue to push Prime as a thing, but they do not push the films.
Well, like
Yeah, that seems odd for
the Sonic Rumble did get
Racing
a movie
CrossWorlds.
event as well.
It
The
did,
reason
yeah.
for not doing it in Racing Crossworlds was because there's no movie coming out next year, and
Well,
so
there's no new Sonic Prime next year either, but they still
no,
found.
there isn't. But I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I guess until a new
yeah.
cartoon
Sonic
comes
Prime
out,
is completely finished, but definitely not the Paramount Sonic movies. They're still pumping those out.
I don't know. I can only assume that they just view Prime differently in some capacity, closer to just being official game media or whatever. I don't know, but I am happy that they're continuing to give that show some love. So, uh moving on. Oh yeah, so Sonic Rumble has been dropping some cryptic hints lately. And it has been weird. So 2 days ago they posted a tweet saying a cruise in December sounds chill, and it has Sonic holding a Caribbean cruise invitation with like a battleship on it and a palm
Well,
tree.
obviously, this is for new stages.
I mean, yeah, I would assume, but then we also have the. Have you, Shigs? Have you seen either of these images?
Yeah, it's kind of cryptic a little bit.
Okay, and so the second one is the battleship in dark silhouette over a blood red ocean with a setting sun in the background. With the tweet, the sun sets, adventure awakes on the horizon, while new threats are lurking in the deep. And according to, again, Lucas Meisner, the community manager, it's not Metal Harbor, which was a lot of people's first guess. Think larger, you won't believe what's going to happen. And to me, this screams some sort of weird crossover event. And I feel like this poster has to be referencing something. And like
Sonic X Battleship.
Dave the Diver.
my first thought was like, that looks like a horror movie poster. But it also kind of reminds me of something you might do for Godzilla. And I'm wondering, could this like be a Godzilla tie-in event?
It would, like, at this point, like, it's not unreasonable to
Don't make
think
me that happy. Don't try to make me that happy.
No, I mean, it was in. Hey, there's Godzilla content in Monkey Ball. Godzilla is they are very, very willing to license out Godzilla for various like small projects, mobile projects, free to play game projects. Like that brand is very happy to be out there and taking in licensing money, and probably not that much licensing money, if we're being real.
And it's like, we know that Sonic Rumble was like set to get like a My Hero Academia crossover earlier this year before the big delay happened.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of did in one of the movies. Godzilla was a superhero in My Hero Academia, the first movie they did.
But like, I could very easily see them like bringing a bunch of Godzilla characters to this in like these big rubber costume type things, big rubber cartoony costumes.
I mean, they could just reuse the chibi Godzilla from Monkey Ball, and nobody would think the wiser.
Yeah.
Or they could use the current actual chibi Godzilla from the cartoon series they have on YouTube.
But in addition to Chibi Godzilla, I'm sure we're also going to get like what, Chibi Ghidorah. Man, do you think they could do Chibi Mothra?
Oh, you could
like,
totally
is that
do.
A thing?
There is a.
Well, they already exist in that animated series that I'm mentioning.
Yeah. I got some videos and photos to send you, or illustrations to send you at some point of classic anime. Not even classic anime. Somewhat reasonably recent anime.
There's always been different eras where they've had a chibi Godzilla of some kind.
Not even
But,
counting
like,
Godzuki.
if they're like doing
Yep, not even
Godzilla as
counting
like
Godzuki.
a Christmas event, though, that's just going to be weird. Like, Godzilla is not a Christmas thing.
Godzilla is a Christmas thing that I categorically disagree. Godzilla is as festive as the Yule log and Japanese people eating KFC.
But in any case, unfortunately, we did not get a look at whatever this is in the new update, although I'm assuming that they'll probably launch it a little closer to Christmas. We also, like I said before, they also didn't show us whatever these new reward missions are going to be. But yeah, this does make me feel like diving back into the game. And I don't know. Hopefully, they give us a little peek in the creators program soon. So okay, so moving on in mobile corner. All right, so Sonic Racing, and out of nowhere, got another update, and this one
Game that won't quit.
It kind of adds like a significant feature to the game because it added vehicle customization.
Yeah.
Like
That's a significant feature. Yeah, wow.
but it basically added the same system as CrossWorlds, where you can customize the front, back, and wheels, and you unlock the parts with community challenges. And I haven't actually dove back into that yet because I just haven't had the time. Sega has too many Sonic mobile games that they are updating at once at this point. There are not enough hours in the day.
I am just really surprised that Sonic Racing go up. That game should be dead by now.
Well, so
they keep supporting it is amazing.
So obviously, okay, so there's probably two things that are happening here. Number one, so this one is a hard light game. Hard light, they manage a lot of these games, but a lot of them are not putting out big new content. They're putting out characters, but characters are very templatized. The other half of it is there's only two reasons in my mind why you would continue to release updates like this for the Apple Arcade game. Reason number one is because Apple is paying you to maintain new content for it, and that is a way to keep new content. The other reason why is you want to continue to maintain this licensing agreement with Apple, and one of the better ways to do that is to sweeten the deal by continuing to add new content so that they continue to renew their contracts and, keep this going. And I think either are valid possibilities, possibly even both.
I've got to imagine that they just like having Sonic on the service, and they want to give people new reasons to check it out. But on top of that, I think that there's at least a little bit of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds cross promotion. That too, not cross promotion, one-way promotion.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
going on here.
Sonic Dream Team has been a kind of a Apple Arcade seller for them.
Yeah.
So that might be partially they want more Sonic exclusive games on their thing.
But I do kind of wish that they wouldn't tie everything to community challenges, though. I don't know, just give me a regular way to just unlock this stuff in the game, please. Especially since I feel like I participate in these, but then I leave and then I never get anything unlocked. And I don't really know what I'm doing wrong.
You're not playing you're not playing it constantly. That's what you're doing wrong.
I can't play it constantly, Sega. Stop making me do that. I have two other Sonic Racing games to play that are also more relevant.
You will play all of them.
It was such a breath of fresh air over the past month to play not Sonic games. I've been loving it.
Now you know what it's like to be me all of the time.
Sure. In any case, so all right. So we did get a piece of surprising film news. And that is that we are getting that Paramount announced a Sonic Universe event film for December 2028.
Whatever the
Which
heck that means.
well, so my first thought was like, okay, this probably isn't the Shadow film, because if it was the Shadow film, they would just say it, right?
No,
But
I don't necessarily think they will necessarily come right out and say it. I think a possibility
Yeah, I
exists.
think you might hint at it
but
first.
someone did point out to me that they call Knuckles an event TV series.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's just their way of saying mini series. And so like this is probably the Shadow movie that like has been getting heavily rumored for a very long time. And it's like at this point I would have been shocked if it wasn't happening. And what I guess find kind of surprising is that like this is now like coming just a year, like a little more than a year and a half after Sonic 4. And so it's like
Yeah, it's definitely not
they
going
are
to be a Sonic. It's definitely not going to be Sonic 5. Like,
yeah, like this
No,
is gonna have like a new creative team. Like it's gonna have a different director, different writers. You know, it's gonna be like how Marvel does it's like cinematic universe movies, I guess, except you know it's just one instead of like 3 a year. Which is that is kind of exciting, especially since like I feel like Shadow the Hedgehog would kind of require them to go a little more serious than they typically do, which could be interesting.
yeah, I'm
Um,
definitely leaning on Shadow because when you think about it, Sonic 4 is going to be closer to an adaptation of Sonic CD. They're going to have Amy, possibly Silver. I wouldn't doubt that Silver would be in this, and so
it'd be
Shadow
very funny if
himself
it was like
would be a background character for that. So
they should
I'm
just
thinking
like
that Shadow will have his own series, his own
yeah,
movie.
well movie, but yeah,
That's why I said
like
movie. I first
it
said
would
series.
make a lot of sense for like you know they very blatantly said, hey, Shadow's alive and he's coming back at the end of the movie. So like it would have been a little weird if they didn't have something brewing for him. Um, so although I do kind of wonder why they didn't just say it's a Shadow movie. Like that's kind of my only question.
they're not ready
And
to. The problem is they're not ready to answer a lot of questions that people will be asking about there being a Shadow movie. Like they're not ready to reveal it, they're not ready to talk about it, so they're just putting it out there. We are slotting a movie in this series in 2028, so you know a movie is coming out. But as soon as they announce what it is, then they have to actually start, talking about it or advertising it or pushing it or revealing
I don't
it
know,
or
like
saying things about it
when
in
they
a way.
announced Knuckles, they said, "Hey, we're doing a Knuckles miniseries. It's going to have Idris Elba because obviously." And
The
then that was it for like 2 years.
the series is in a different place now than it was from whenever they did that. And let's be
That
real,
is true.
they made a mistake whenever they announced the Knuckles series that early.
Yeah, they clearly did since they had to delay it like what, a year.
Yeah.
But now the big question is going to become, hey, can this franchise sustain like like borderline annualized movies? Like, can it sustain both a main series and a spin-off that isn't like just free on a streaming service? So like
Yeah.
Now we're saying Shadow, but there's also I think a possibility of maybe it's a Sonic 3D animated movie. That's just something.
I don't
uh,
think Look,
like
man, as much as I want that, I don't think Paramount's ready to do that yet.
I don't think they're ready to split into
if it's not
between
a
two.
Shadow movie, my guess would be that it is literally an event film, where it's like there'd have to be a Shadow movie between Sonic 4 and this like culminates that in some capacity or something, or you know, like it's just like a Sonic film where like Sonic isn't the focus, and you can like have a, I guess, other another CG character who isn't Sonic or Shadow at the center of
I
it. But like
I
it is probably a Shadow movie.
I'm not even honestly. I'm not even gonna. I don't even see a whole lot of value in speculating at this point. It's just going to be a shadow project. It's just going to be a shadow movie. They've talked about wanting to do a shadow movie. There's rumors of it wanting to be a shadow movie. Every logical financial choice that they could make points to them having a shadow movie. I think it's just going to be a shadow movie. Like, I don't see a world where this isn't the shadow movie. If it's not the shadow movie, I'm going to be incredibly surprised. Delighted, but surprised. But also, Dodo in chat, what part of the Knuckles series wasn't a mistake? And the answer is none of it, because it was all perfect. It was a beautiful, perfect series that
The part that wasn't a mistake was the rock opera. That was the one good part.
Every part of it was fantastic, but specifically,
and also the first episode, which felt closest to the Sonic movies.
You know what? The first episode was the mistake. The first episode was definitely the worst one. Like, I have issue that first episode made me wonder if I specifically have issues with the director of this series and the way the director makes things. It might have just been Sonic's inclusion and Sonic's writing and all of that stuff, but I'd also say the first episode was my least favorite by a wide margin.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're just wrong. It goes the first episode, then the one with the rock opera.
You just like that the first episode had all the characters.
It was also the least unfunny one.
Oh,
until we got to the rock opera.
It was indeed the least funny. That was the least
I said
funny
least
episode.
Unfunny.
Oh, no, I know what I said though. I said it is the least funny. Like it had some jokes, but boy, ugh. But it did introduce us to Jack Sinclair. Jack Sinclair, best Sonic character, absolute best Sonic character, best Sonic antagonist that the series has ever had.
He made a good spirit guide.
Why don't we put Jack Sinclair in Sonic Rumble? What is stopping us as a culture?
Well, probably like they need to get the likeness rights or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Do it. What's the problem? It's clearly worth it. It's clearly worth it.
Pretty sure we need to get like Tom and Jim Carrey in first.
No, we don't. Why would we want to get these worst characters in? The people demand. The people want and demand Jack Sinclair. Pretty sure they're
demanding Agent Stone. Actually,
they are actually demanding that. That is the one person that they are in fact demanding.
All right, so moving on to PlayStation's Mark Cerny called Sonic 1's development terribly controversial.
For the funniest reason in modern context.
Well, why don't you go into that?
So they wanted to make it big, so they spent a lot of money on it, and they had 4 people work on it instead of like 3, and they basically took 18 months instead of like 10. And
like Cerny asked, what was the usual process, and they said 3 people, 3 months, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
and so Yuji Naka went over budget, and he was getting yelled at.
Well, damn good thing he did.
I find it he quit multiple times, huh?
He is. Yeah, I always get the impression that he has had a weird relationship with this series, and I've always talked about the ways that he must have had a bug up his butt about having Sonic in the real world based on some of the stuff he's done in the Dreamcast era and said about Sonic 06, and it's like, it's weird, but like, that, to be fair to Yuji Naka, which I do not like being because I do not think he deserves it, he was working in a deeply hostile environment. Sega is not a good company historically. I don't know if it's a good company now, but it was certainly not a good company historically, and there are a lot of stories to back that up.
So Yuji Naka was pretty tired of the situation, and top level creator making $60,000 a year after a bonus, getting yelled a lot, and he'd had it. Cerny said. Um, so it was a difficult environment with a hard driving president who was going to force us to success. That isn't to say that there wasn't an incredible amount of camaraderie with the people that I worked with, but it was just brutal. Nakayama, the president of Sega, would come in and he would just give it to us, and if he didn't see happening that he wanted what he wanted to see, okay, apparently misread the. But anyway, so like yeah, so you get yelled at a lot, and well, like I guess thankfully he came back and Sonic 1 was a success, and that's why we're here.
Well, that's not why I'm here. I'm here
Yes,
because
it is.
I'm here because Sonic 2 was a success.
Well, we wouldn't have had Sonic 2 without Sonic 1, so there.
That is probably technically true, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. Sonic 1 is an okay game for 1991. I would even go
it's a wild game for 1991.
Oh, it's a great game for 1991, but it's not without its flaws.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true for like any game. But like just in terms of like just game design technical achievements, like Sonic 1 was impressive. It was just it was just, very flawed very flawed compared to what came later. Um Cerny revealed that nobody realized how big Sonic was going to be in Sega of Japan or Sega of America, which, like, I do know that at the very least there was a big push from the American side to get Sonic 1 to be a pack-in. But I also know that like during development, like the American side didn't really understand why this was going to be a big thing versus like Madden or something.
Well, was Madden even a thing at that point?
Yeah, I believe Madden was like the big Genesis game from like the year before, the original.
I
thought that was Joe Montana football.
Yeah,
that's
that's
I might be getting those mixed up.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't think we had a Madden at all. Like, I don't think Madden started. Yeah, never mind. You had me thoroughly confused.
They're football games. They're licensed.
Yeah, but one of them's made after.
Right.
Joe Madden and Joe Montana, basically the same person. Historically, they fill the exact same role. You could tell their families.
I just
never know the difference.
Big celebrity sports games. I thought Madden was one of them. In any case, so moving on. We also got a big dump of Sega Channel ROMs. And I have not had a chance to actually look through these or watch the video that they released, but like it's basically just loads of Sega Channel specific versions of those ROMs, plus like loads of menus and stuff, and like documents from the era that just like talk about the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it's like a lot of it. So hey, for those of you who are not familiar with what the Sega Channel was, it was a subscription service where you would get we'll say an input style device for your Sega Genesis, and you would have access to this specialty subscription channel. And what the subscription channel would do is, at specific times of the day that are scheduled, you would turn on your device and it would receive an input from the cable channel, from the cable signal. The cable signal would basically would broadcast the code necessary for the game. So, like, you couldn't just get it on demand. You would kind of have to be online. You would have to be connected at the specific time so that your Sega Genesis could receive a game. And sometimes it was full games. Not all, like, sometimes it was full games. Sometimes it was partial games because some games were
Like
just going to be
Sonic
too big for
3D
them to send.
Blast was cut in half, and you had to download part 1 and then part 2.
Yeah. There was Sonic 3D Blast. There was Garfield Caught in the Act. You could play a portion of Mortal Kombat. I think there was a Joe and Mac game that they let you play through it, and it was just sort of this weird service that had specific versions of these games that weren't necessarily otherwise available.
Well, this was how Mega Man, Mega Man Wily Wars and Alien Storm were both distributed.
Yeah.
Alien Storm was a treasure game, which is basically got all bosses. Like there, and like thankfully, like we did not have to wait decades for those games to get dumped. But yeah, like it was just how a couple of late Genesis games even made it to the West. Also, Pulseman.
Really, Pulseman was part of it?
Yeah, Pulseman was a Sega Channel exclusive.
That's fascinating. Okay, because I only knew of that game as the game that never made it out of Japan.
But what I'm most interested in is like the fact that we even got like menus and stuff. So like I'm really looking forward to like just kind of revisiting these lost artifacts from this old like Game Pass precursor. Okay, it wasn't Alien Storm. That's a different game. Okay, it was Alien something else. But anyway. So you can like all the ROMs are freely downloadable, and also there's a neat hour-long video that you can watch be embedded in our article. And also they also did release Garfield Caught in the Act Lost Levels. This is like that's like kind of the big release to come out of this in terms of games. Because that has been unplayable for decades until now.
I hate that they made
Some would say it's unplayable still.
I hate that they made it so hard and included the poison mushrooms in it.
Alien Soldier was called. There. Okay, got that off my chest. All right. So moving on to something that's near and dear to me personally, because of course I am big on the Dreamcast scene. SEGAGAGA, the Sega Sim RPG released for the Dreamcast in 2001, is going to soon be getting a fan translation. This has been something I've been waiting like 20 years for. And it's finally happening.
I'm actually quite interested in this myself. That it's one of those games where it's like, hey, back when I was still doing almost every Sonic, like, there were just games that I don't think were going to be reasonable for me to do, and this seems like it would be really interesting to stream.
Yeah, like I definitely hope I'll be able to do it when it releases. Although I think it would be cool if you did as well. But yeah, but basically like the crux of this is you play this character called Segataro, who's like this young programmer that the supercomputer chooses for a secret project to save Sega, because like this is
because they have like no idea what to do during this entire console era. They're just flailing wildly. Sega US and Sega West are getting into fights. Development teams are stabbing each other in the back. Yuji Naka's yelling at this other developer in the US about using Knight's Code. It's like it's a goddamn mess.
But basically like this company called Dogma, which Sony, has 97% of the console market, and Sega has 3%. And it's your job to rescue the company and bring them back to prominence and defeat Dogma. And so you've got to actually like fight programmers who have had their spirits crushed by extreme crunch, and bring them onto your side. You've got to like fight Sega characters like Amigo and
Well,
a
Amiga,
bunch of other
wait.
Sega
I thought
characters
this
like
was
make cameos.
Wait, was this Saturn or was this
Dreamcast?
Oh, it's Dreamcast. Okay, I thought it.
Yes.
Okay, I thought this was a
Uh,
earlier game than that.
nope. And like Panzer Dragoon and Ristar and Fantasy Star, those all make cameos, and of course Sonic does as well. Like Sonic has a couple of appearances in at least the animated segments, and you get this whole thing with Alex Kidd. So it's just full of Sega fan service. I'm really looking forward to it. Shiggs, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I've heard about this long in the past, but my Dreamcast days are over. It's been a long time, and pretty much my favorite games on that system have been ported over elsewhere. So it's not like the Saturn where there's still a lot of games that stayed on that system.
But SEGAGAGA is not one of those games, Shiggs.
I know, but still, one game isn't enough for me to buy a Sega Dreamcast again.
Why would you be buying a Sega Dreamcast? What are you talking about?
You can emulate it, right?
Yeah.
Like I won't. But
how else are you gonna apply a translation patch, my dude?
Well, it's just a hack. Like you just it's just a ROM. You can burn it to a CD,
sure,
or stick it in an SD card or whatever.
Look,
like, you don't need a
you probably don't want. Look. As someone who has spent a lot of time with disc media, you don't want to play burned CDs.
I'm not going to play it burned.
consoles.
I have GDMU, right?
I'm not.
I'm gonna stick it in SD cards.
I am saying that is not a good solution to suggest to people. Is playing it burned onto a disc. You can if you want.
That's how I did for like 15 years.
Yeah, and then you replaced your disk drive with something that's non-optical.
Yeah, because it's more convenient. But yeah, like I'm going to be talking about this game again when it finally comes out. Like it is.
Yeah, I'm just not that interested in it, to be honest.
Like once this is out, I think my final Dreamcast game that I want to get a fan translation for is the Hundred Swords, which is like a Dreamcast strategy game. So, moving on to merch news. Lego Silver and a CrossWorlds tie-in are coming in 2026 to the Lego sets.
This is
you finally get a Lego Silver without having to worry about a bootleg from Comic-Con.
Hey, my bootleg is from AliExpress. I'm a big fancy man with his immoral imports. I have mixed feelings about the whole Lego line. They have some interesting things, and they have some weird generic things that feel inexplicable. Yeah, but like the Tails who's going to bat for the Tails adventure boat? Like who seriously is?
Not me.
This feels like the correct middle ground for it. Like this feels like
yeah, because there's like one thing I'd recommend is like they have a Knuckles versus Eggman robot thing. That's right there in that middle section, I think.
Yeah, but this is kind of the middle ground of like, look, you can sell cars. You can sell Lego cars. Lego cars are always cool. They are always cool. Having them be modeled and inspired off of CrossWorlds and, similar racing game designs is also pretty great. The only thing that would have probably made these sets better is if they did offer the mix and match design ideas where you could just split them in half and combine them in interesting ways. I think that would have been a good hook for this lineup, but still, like
Well,
this,
you still can if you're inventive enough.
like the Lego sets have been high highs and low lows. Like the BioLizard is cool. The Eggman, the Death Egg robot is real cool. The Tornado is fine. But like Amy's Grotto for Animals,
Yeah.
the loop to loop where you can smash it and have Sonic roll into a ball, it's fine, I guess. It's not impressive, but this feels safe. And it feels safe in a time when it's kind of all over the place, and I at least appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's the first time they've like directly tied in a Lego set to a game too. Like I don't think Superstars got Lego sets. I know that like Superstars had Lego DLC, but
for Sonic, yes. For other series, no.
I was specifically referring to Sonic.
I mean, unless you wanted to count the Sonic Adventure 2 Super Sonic and Super Shadow versus the thing, or I'm trying to think what was there another one?
Well, I guess we can count BioLizard.
Shadow had the motorcycle. Like Shadow had the motorcycle set. It has his little
I
emblem
guess.
on it, but
Like I don't know, Shadow on a motorcycle. That's like a reference to a 2005 game.
even still though, like they are not branding it as Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. It's still just part of the primary Sonic lineup. It has no CrossWorlds or Sonic Racing branding associated with it whatsoever.
So do either of you have aspirations to get this?
Oh, always. For sure.
Okay.
For sure. So like my complaints about Silver aside, Silver usually has a good-looking car. Like I have aspirations of getting it. We are going to have to see if fate conspires to allow me.
That's why I said aspirations.
Yeah.
What about you, Shits?
Oh, I'm totally getting it. Yeah.
I like that the first set they have with it includes the monster truck. You know, the big iconic thing. It's like, what's the biggest?
Well, that's what's bringing up the price too, because from what I'm seeing on these, the Sonic with the race car is 10, where Silver and Knuckles together with their cars is 40. So
I mean,
I'm imagining a good portion of that 40 is going to the monster truck.
Yeah, I mean, you're still getting comparable parts counts. You're still getting a new minifig associated with it. Like that's still not a ridiculous price for that set. For for $40.
And Silver gets a wrench.
Silver does get a wrench. He can wrench things. He is now Ratchet of the Ratchet and Clank series. That is how we are taking his character going forward.
I don't think I think he's just a mechanic. I don't think you need to go that far.
His mother is Bulma. It goes through his blood.
So going back to something that I care about, the Great Eastern Entertainment is getting another plush of a thing that has never gotten a plush before. In this case, it is Neo Metal Sonic. It's getting a 10-inch plush. It's going to be coming out in the spring. I think it's set for like April/May. Although with how the current plushes are going, it could be later. And it's $36. And like I don't know, I like Neo Metal Sonic does not have one of those, an especially plush friendly design. But I think he does look pretty good, all things considered.
Neither does Omega and Gamma, and they got them first.
Yep. And they look good. They're all good. Like, I gotta give them props. They know what they're doing with this stuff. What?
My feelings on the design of Neo Metal Sonic are well known. I think it looks dumb in a bad way, and
Nevertheless,
he is the worst.
Like as a plush rendition of that design, it is well done. I admit, for me, I used to hate this design.
Oh,
But
I
it
do
did
hate
kind of
this.
grow on me.
I do hate this design. The thing is, that iteration of Metal Sonic, they got it right. Like, I'm not, okay. This version, this style of Metal Sonic, they got it right the first time. And any time that they have attempted to kind of update it or change it or adjust it has always felt like over designed. Like, and
Honestly, to me, I think Neo Metal Sonic is a pretty like interesting rendition of like, hey, do to Metal Sonic what they did to modern Sonic, where it's like, the longer spines and the taller body and everything.
ugh.
But like the one thing that really kind of messes that up, well, two things. There's the shoulder pads, and there is his like, I guess, cape thing. I don't know what the cloak thing over behind his legs, the butt cape,
But
whatever. You know what I mean?
the thing that makes Metal Sonic interesting is that he just has a jet turbine for a chest. Like, the more you try to ornament that, the more it just gets off base. The more it just kind of
That is true. Like
moves away
we've
from
never
what makes him
seen
cool.
Sonic like run. Like this does not look like an especially aerodynamic design. But like I don't know. Regardless, like there are qualities about it that I've learned to appreciate. But I will always prefer like classic Metal Sonic.
Yeah. Make me I don't freaking know what all of them are called. Make me the Sonic 2 one next.
But honestly, like
The big chunky one that looks like the original Iron Man. The original
you
Iron
mean
Man
Mecha
version.
Sonic?
I don't know. I don't care. Give me that. Give me the original Iron Man version of Metal Sonic, and also that comparison still seems to hold true.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Um,
analogy works. Dang it.
okay. So was there? I thought there was one other thing I was going to say. Well, anyway. So I guess speaking of Mecha Sonic, um, we also got our next batch of Funko Pop reveals, and they are all classic Sonic themed. Um, Now, of course, there is a question of whether or not these are actually. Well, I guess they should come out, given that they are coming out in like March. But Funko is in a tight spot apparently, where they might not survive the year, which isn't especially surprising if you've been following them at all. But so we got Classic Amy with a special like winking variant. We got Mecha Sonic, aka Silver Sonic, Mighty, and Fang. And there's certainly a time when I would have been interested in these because like these are all like these merch of characters that used to never get merch. But well, now we live in a post Jack specific / Great Eastern Entertainment world. So like we have better looking versions of all these things already. But it is kind of interesting that it's felt like they've increasingly been kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel of the franchise here. I am kind of wondering uh if like IDW's next, if like we're gonna get Tangle and Whisper getting the Funko Pop treatment.
Like you
Anything's
said,
possible. They'll license anything.
they have to survive long enough to do that. So
Yeah, yeah, and that is
uh,
an open question.
yeah. I mean,
I think
look,
we've got a few years.
I already have my Mecha Sonic Jack specific figurine. It's perfect in every way. It's beautiful. It fits with my Sonic 2 diorama with a death egg and a tornado, and I yeah, these were never going to be for me. These continue to never be for me. The status has not shifted. Though I guess you could say it's kind of neat that maybe they gave Fang a Chaos Emerald to hold. Like
Yes, he
an
has a
alright
transparent
detail.
Chaos Emerald.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we have gone from like 0 Mighty merch to like 3 Mighty merch. So, oh yeah, I do remember the last thing I was going to say about Mecha Sonic. the plush itself is better designed than the like vanilla Metal Sonic plush. That's like another thing going for it. Like just a legit higher quality one. So moving on to our to the IDW Sonic preview. AIPT had their Supersonic monthly column, and they released the preview for issue 83. And honestly, like this is in like the action-packed final climax of the story, and so there's not really a whole lot to talk about, I guess. It's just, hey, like Dr. Robotnik is here, and he wants his robots to like bring him all sorts of freaks from the festival, and Sonic and Co are going to fight him. And like at the very least, it has caused Shadow to step back from, I guess, beating up on Lunar for a minute. Like he had to give Rouge the Chaos Emerald, and I've got to imagine that's when it's going to get swiped. Someone's going to swipe it off of her. But this really doesn't change my feeling that like this arc just feels kind of rushed still. Like it's pretty clear that like we got the story bits, now we're getting the action bit. At the very least, like go on.
It's only a 5-page. We don't really have too much to go on yet.
Well, 5 pages out of 20, that's like a quarter of the comic.
Yeah, it's weird that they put out this much of a. Usually, when they do this much of a preview, it's out the next week. But
this one's coming like Christmas
Eve. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one is like January 6th or January 8th, but I have a feeling that's going to get delayed.
Yeah. I don't know. At the very least, Eggman's clown mech looks cool.
When do I get to fight this robot in a game? When do I get to fight this robot as a boss fight in a game, please? Yes, please.
Probably never.
Aw, that's.
And we do get to see. We do get to see Soleil in action. With the little spin dash, so it is kind of cool that like they're showing how anyone can do Sonic spin dash move. You don't need spikes for that.
I mean, Sonic Heroes taught us that.
True.
Sonic 2 taught us that.
I've always just assumed that Tails had spikes somehow. I don't know. Like it was his tail. His tail was slicing through things. Oh wait, no, his tail is poking out his tail
sticking out behind him, miraculously not moving with him.
Yeah. No, I didn't think about that too much at the time.
When are we gonna reintroduce human beings into this series and have them do spin dashes? It's what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah. Let's resurrect Maria.
Give Maria a spin dash.
Yeah. Have her spin dash a gun soldier.
She should also be half robot. That would be the correct course of action. Or her soul should be in a robot. She should be a ghost, and she should be inhabiting the robot as a body. That is in no way distasteful. That is in no way entirely and horrifically distasteful for everything that has happened in this series.
And then we should make a joke about her getting shot.
There we go. Escape has the right idea. We get the Burger Man spin dash. And Maria, the spiritual ghost of Maria, comes back haunting, possessing the Burger Man.
Yeah, that works. And with that, that's all of the Sonic stuff that's happened over the last few weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God we don't have anything that we had to talk about in regard to the Game Awards.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about that. Nothing happened at the Game Awards, but we did get Mega Man, and Sonic didn't win any of the awards. So, yeah.
And Sonic fans seem confused by that for some reason. as if they were expecting one of the best games of the year
Oh,
to
that's
be.
nothing compared to the bigger reaction that the E33 Expedition 33 sweeping the awards got.
Well, yeah,
That's
of
just
course it was. Like that, anyone who wasn't expecting that is crazy. Like that, like if you have paid any attention to the game's media in the past year, it was obvious how people were reacting to that game. What would be the winner? It was obvious.
I just wish that a single game didn't have a tendency of sweeping the awards every year, but that's the Game Awards problem. You know, don't blame Expedition 33 for that.
The game, like that's true. Yeah, like you said, that's true almost every year. Every year there is the one game that is the critical darling that basically wins, and it's the problem with how voting works with this system. The Game Awards are a bad system. It's a bad system.
Well, remember, like fan
It's
votes
the trailer awards.
Fan votes only like affect like 10% of the vote, so
right.
It's mostly the judges who do this stuff,
right? And what you deal
so
with.
So I even have fan votes, really.
Because you want people to go on the website and give it attention and get really emotionally invested in it. And then people do, and then they have strong emotions about what wins and what doesn't. It's the problem. The problem is still. I
completely forgot to vote.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem is, fan vote or not, it's still an incredibly populist system, and for the Oscars, it's a reasonable ask to have everyone watch all nominated movies for the Oscars and come up with a winner for that. That is not a reasonable ask for the Game Awards, or really any.
That is true. That is true.
So what you run into is, what are the games that people have that like, it's not like what has done things the best that year necessarily. There are no like one-offs. It's an award system of like, what can everyone just kind of vaguely agree on? What can they all sort of together land on to that both everyone has played and everyone has like the good positive vibes about?
That Donkey Kong Bonanza should have swept everything. That's what we should have agreed on.
Honestly, I'm not willing to. Honestly, like I feel fine about Bonanza. I think as the best family game, that makes a lot of sense. I just I was not surprised it won that. Like I knew it was going to be either that or Mario Kart World. I was really hoping to be Bonanza. I have some issues with the development and the discussions around Expedition 33. I also think that it seems like it's a game that's doing a lot of very interesting things. I think that it should not be surprising that it won the awards that it did.
I just don't think it should be considered an indie game, but I still plan on playing it.
It's not. It's not. It is, well, I mean, the Game Awards have always had a problem with trying to define indies. Last year, like, when Dave the Diver won Best Indie, it's like, Dave the Diver was published by Nexon. Like, number one, the people voting clearly don't know what an indie is. The people nominating don't clearly know what an indie is. And the award ceremonies do not care enough to set out a clear set of expectations on what should and should not be associated with it that makes sense for the industry as it currently stands. Like,
I will say that just like, I don't know, like as an event, Game Awards, like I feel I feel like I'm just kind of growing numb to the whole thing, because now I've got to like watch it every year because Sega has a habit of putting stuff there.
I purposely didn't. Like, I was listening, I was watching conversations.
The one time I didn't, they did the freaking Power Surge game, so it's like, nah, fine.
You know what? And
I'll give Jeff Keighley one night.
And that was on YouTube immediately after. Immediately after. You would have missed nothing.
But, so, like, but there were a couple things that they unveiled that were pretty cool. Like, the Badger. We got what was that Badger game called? Well, the Bradley the Badger.
Bradley the
like,
Badger,
that looks
Bradley the
neat.
Badger. That one looks kind of fun.
That looks very cool. I am excited to see more of that. My problem is I did not watch it because I knew well enough. It's like, why would I bother? Why would I waste my time? And thus, I did not waste my time.
And
you don't have to watch the Game Awards to see those trailers. They go up on YouTube almost instantly as soon as they're shown.
Yep.
And Mega Man was also pretty cool. I'm happy that's finally back.
I am not excited for Mega Man. I love Mega Man.
I'm very tepid. I mean, hey, Mega Man. This is basically Mega Man 12. It's Mega Man 11.
It sure does look like they're making another Mega Man 11. I liked Mega Man 11. I thought Mega Man 11 was a perfectly cromulent Mega Man that was not impressive, but it achieved being a Mega Man. This looks like more of that. I kind of have a sense of what I can expect from it. They have not shown me anything to change the way I feel. Don't get me wrong, I will probably play it. I will probably enjoy it, but it does not feel like anybody who's talking about it is excited for what that game is. It feels like they are purely excited for the concept of Mega Man not being a dead franchise. And
well, I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna be a well-made game, but we'll see.
I'm sure it'll. Like I said, I like Mega Man a lot, especially classic Mega Man. I think it'll be perfectly fine. It's just that I know I already have a good sense of what 80% of that game is going to be.
And it was also really cool seeing like 2 different Star Wars games getting announced. Albeit one.
Yeah. You want to talk about something that looks like it's going to be sick? Oh, that Star Wars racing game looks.
Yeah,
that looks slick.
It comes out next
year. I
can't
wait for that one.
Yeah. That's a game that you want. Like, there's not a lot of games that I look at and think like that's a Star Wars game and actually gets me motivated to play it. Like, there's some good-looking Star Wars games. I kind of want to play the one that came out recently from Ubisoft. But this is one that but this is one that actually gets me legitimately excited.
And it's like we just don't get a whole lot of racers like this. And so,
except in 2025.
Yeah. Honestly, it kind of feels like the genre is starting to come back, but it might just be some coincidences. Regardless, like I am looking forward to it, especially given how good the old Star Wars racers were. I'm hoping they take some inspiration from Pod Racer at least.
If it weren't for this frickin' Fable, we maybe would have a new Forza Horizon by now.
Yeah. And also, we are getting a next The Old Republic spiritual successor, which, I'll get more excited for that when 1, we see gameplay, and 2, we have a release date.
and if it's clear that our species will still survive until the date that this thing comes out, because it sounds like they don't even have their team together for it yet.
Well, no, they at least had their team together earlier this year, and apparently it's gonna be like out before 2030 at least, but we'll see. And finally, I do find it kind of funny that like Sega, teased, oh, we're gonna be there, and then it's like no one knew that Total War Warhammer 40K was the Sega game because their name wasn't even on it.
It's fine that they had that. Like, it's fine that they're announcing and releasing and working on that game. The Total War series matters. Warhammer is an important thing. I don't think that was the crowd for that. I don't think that was the venue for that announcement. I don't know what the crowd or venue for that announcement would be. I just don't get the impression that is the place where you announce a game like that.
Yeah, it's like, Sega, you do this for like the Power Surge stuff. If you're not doing that or Sonic or something, if you're just doing like a Total War thing, at the very least, like, I don't know, have the Total War account say something.
Yeah, probably have Sega West. Like, that's fine. I don't know. And I kind of wonder, like, it does make me wonder, like, what does what does Sega have? Sega still has things that we know they will eventually need to announce. Like, they have to show us some of these games that they're working on eventually.
I was expecting the Power Surge games because it's like it's time. We've gotten one of them.
It's time to show off. Obviously, don't show us all of them. If you could show us one of them, like
right.
Streaks of Rage or Crazy Taxi or Jet.
Do these things still exist? Do these things still exist? Because we don't know. Like, what's happening? Are they still the super game? Are we still waiting on the super game?
You'll know more about them in 2 weeks. I tell you. We'll see more in 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, we won't have to wait until the next Game Awards to see at least one of them.
Well, they'll show something off in the summer, and you will watch the Summer Game Fest presentation. I will probably put on some garbage and watch something that's far more enjoyable, and we'll both be happy.
It sounds like the Beyond Good and
GX, you watched a freaking Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah, I sure did.
Gaslight me.
I sure did.
Into thinking that you won that.
Oh, I won that thoroughly.
You did not. I have seen that. That is garbage.
It is.
Game Awards.
But it's garbage. But it was better than the Game Awards.
Well, maybe the Boba Fett cartoon. That's about it.
What about the B. Arthur musical number? And the commercials. I got to see Tobor again. Tobor is robot spelled backwards.
No, you're never winning this, GX.
You can't argue that I'm never winning because I've already won.
You did not. You're not nowhere close.
I had the much better time between the two of us. I had significantly better time. So hey,
I refuse to acknowledge that.
You got to see Mark Hamill caked up in a ridiculous amount of makeup to hide his scars from his last film.
Sure did.
You got to see a coked up Princess Leia.
Sure did.
Almost falling over on a
You got to see 5 seconds of James Earl Jones talking in Darth Vader as sort of a weird cutaway that doesn't actually connect to anything. It's great.
You got to see Harrison Ford obviously wishing he wasn't there.
Harrison Ford always wishes he wasn't there. There is never a time where I have seen Harrison Ford associated with any Star Wars project where I have the sense that he actually wants to be there.
In any case, now that we've discussed the Game Awards, which I thought was going to be like the main focus of discussion, like back in November. I think it's time to wrap things up.
So, of course, our opinions are our own, but the only actual fact here is that the Star Wars Christmas special is amazing, and you should watch it. You should totally watch it.
You can't keep lying like that, man.
You should totally watch it. Look, I am not saying it's good. I am saying it is amazing. It will amaze you. It will amaze you. You will not be believing the thing that you are seeing.
Or you could just see a good
You gotta
movie.
remember something about the 70s is that variety shows were all the rage. So it had to be a variety show in some kind of form.
But more importantly, but the show broadly is under the banner of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org, one of the internet's longest-running Sonic fan communities. You can find us there, once again, at sonicstadium.org, where you can find news coverage and forums. You can also find our Discord over there and chat with other Sonic fans. You can get to our YouTube channel. You can get to our Twitch channel. You can get to our many social media platforms. If you want to do so directly, you can always just search for Sonic Stadium on any of them.
Yeah.
And go, find something that you think is cool, a method that you like, and just follow it, subscribe to it, whatever you want to do, whatever you think would be right, and we will get you plenty of Sonic goodness coming at you. I will also highlight that shortly after this episode is done being live, this Sonic Talk episode is done being live, I will be publishing the final request thread for Sega Sonic Radio this year. The theme
Aw.
is holiday cheer, and I am asking for your holiday-themed Sonic music requests. So please get those in. Again, that's on Twitter, on the forums, on the Blue Skies, on the Discord. All of those are valid. All of those are valid places to do so. We will have something shortly after Christmas, and that will be the actual final episode, but it will not have requests. Then we are going on a hiatus until February. Hiatus basically lets me do the background tech work that needs done, any upgrades that I need to do. I've been spending so much freaking time working on some of the code for this, cleaning things up, prepping for big significant changes, prototyping certain design ideas that I have. It's busy. I have so many albums that I need to prep for the show. I have so many albums.
I'm looking forward to when you activate the hive mind.
Look, the hive mind's probably a season 4 thing. I don't think I'm gonna get a hive mind ready in. Look.
And also the interactive live service game.
I asked ChatGPT, how do I hive mind? And all it did was it spit out a bunch of people's credit card numbers, and I can't use that to make a radio show. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Could.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Use the credit cards to buy things.
You can't buy quality, Knuckles. You have to work for quality. Obviously. I would have no use for that.
Okay, Shigs, you have anything to add?
Not too much for that. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and hope you have a good one and hope you have a Happy New Year. So, because I believe this is our last episode for 2025. We'll see you in 2026.
We'll see. And also a happy.
I don't like that. I don't like that lack of definitiveness. Is this
I don't know. We're I wanted to discuss that later off stream to see like what our feelings are. So
my feelings are it's Christmas and the New Year's. What are they going to announce in between then? If they announce anything, I'm going to be furious.
I don't know, man. We've got multiple live service. We got multiple live actively updating Sonic games now.
And you're the only one who plays them.
See you next time.
Look forward to the next episode where I talk for 2 hours about Buster Bust Loose for Super Nintendo. Peace all.
See ya
later.